What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of the Rundown podcast. We got a lot on deck for you, including takes on Byron Buxton. Is Rafael Devers an underrated player in baseball? We're also going to talk about, does Yankee Stadium deserve the slander it currently gets in the lost art of baseball, which includes stealing, bunting, and starting pitchers going deep into games. But first off, it's important that we introduce ourselves. My name is Abe Hicks. I am the host alongside with my partner, Dylan Currents. You can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, what's up? Dylan Kearns here. Excited to be on the Rundown podcast. Student at the Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting, set to graduate in about 1 month. Excited to get into the broadcasting field. You know, this is baseball. I love baseball. It's summertime. This is where you dive down and just watching games on TV this time of year. It's the best feeling in the world. Going to the ballpark with your friends, with your family, all that good stuff. And I'm just excited to be here and give some hot takes. I'm gonna challenge you there, Abe. I'm gonna challenge you.
Hey, I'm always up for a challenge, brother. I'm always up for a challenge. Well, Dylan, you should tell everybody who's your favorite team and who's your favorite player in baseball right now.
Okay, I own hats galore, so you're gonna see me rock a lot of different hats. I'm a Chicago Cubs fan. Die-hard Chicago Cubs fan, can't wear their hat after you get boat raced by 15 to the Cincinnati Reds today. So I know this is going to slander some takes. People are going to see the takes on TikTok. I'm wearing a Red Sox hat. I'm going to be talking high about Rafael Devers today, and they're going to be like, he's just a Red Sox fan. I'm not. I'm showing you right now, Chicago Cubs fan. I got ticket stubs. I got a Mark Pryor jersey from when I was 6. I can show you everything. Die-hard Cubs fan. But I wear a lot of different hats. You'll see a lot of them different rocking. You're rocking a D-backs hat. You're not a fan.
I'm not. Like you said, you're a big hat fan, so am I. Unfortunately, I am. Well, I shouldn't say unfortunately. Fortunately, I am a Yankees fan. I rock the pinstripes, huge Yankees fan. 27 World Championships. We're about to make it 28 this year. But, Dylan, not a huge fan of the hat you're wearing, but we could have those discussions later. But anyway, let's get right into it. First topic. I believe that Byron Buxton, when healthy, hear this loud and clearly. When healthy, Byron Buxton is a top 5 player in baseball. What do you think about that, Dylan?
You lost your damn mind. That's my first thought process. Is Byron Buxton a top 5 player in all of baseball? You're putting him up against some of the greatest players to do it right now in modern baseball. You look across the board. You're telling me a guy in Byron Buxton. I get it. You deal with his injuries, right? That's something you got to deal with. The guy's a 245 career hitter. Okay, 245. All right, that's below major league average. An average hitter is about 250. Okay, I'm not done. So don't stop right there. Okay. Don't even look at me with that rebuttal, okay? He's a career 245 hitter. He's not made an all-star game. He's not won a Silver Slugger. He's been to the playoffs a few times, right? The Twins, they end up getting bounced whenever they make it. He hasn't done shit in the league. He's a bust. Let alone a top 5 player. He's a bust. This guy, he can't do anything. He's won 1 Gold Glove, albeit platinum. That's all he's done accolade-wise.
Okay. Well, I said listen to me loud and clearly at the beginning. I said he's a top 5 player when healthy. Think about, he has the capability of being a 5-tool player. We know he has the power. We know he has the speed. We know he has the fielding. We know he has the arm. Really the main thing he lacks is the contact. But listen to me here, all right? Buxton last year, before he got hurt, before he tore the ACL, yada, 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 this is what he was doing, okay? He batted .306, OPS of 1.005, 19 home runs, 72 hits, 32 RBIs, and he did all of that in 61 games. He did that in 61 games.
Cool. He had a nice little...
Oh, you want some more? I'll give you some more here, all right?
Okay.
That's what he did last year. This year, before he got hurt at the beginning of the year, he was on an absolute tear. He was batting .290, OBP of 355, OPS of 754, had 9 home runs, 17 RBIs before he was sidelined with the hip soreness. The guy is the real deal when he's healthy. I understand he's hurt all the time. That's honestly going to hold his career back, but when healthy, he's up there with Mike Trout.
Abe, he's 28 years old. He's 28 years old. Don't give me that. Hold his career back.
What does age have to do with anything?
Hold his career back. This guy's 28 years old. Obviously, you get older, you're only getting less durable. You're only getting less as you continue to go down your career path, right? Grady Sizemore, hell of a ball player. Hell of a ball player. Couldn't stay healthy. Byron Buxton is not on that level. He can play elite defense, okay? He can run the bases. You're talking about hip soreness, okay?
Yes.
Everybody has a few good stretches. We saw Josh Bell turn it on. Okay. Brian Dozier had a nice year. Like, some of these guys just come through courses of seasons where, wow, they look like the best thing ever. But, I mean, Byron Buxton, we've seen him for what? He debuted in 15 at the age of 21. He was a first-round pick. The guy is massively overhyped. You're telling me top 5 player in all of baseball, okay? Look at Mike Trout. Easy top 5, right? Then you're talking Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts is a 4-time Silver Slugger Award winner. He's won 5 Gold Gloves. The guy's made multiple All-Star games, has 2 World Series. He's definitely in the conversation as a 5-tool player. Okay, then you're looking at Ronald Acuna Jr. Also, albeit he has the World Series, he had a 41-37 stolen base year. Well, that's 40-40. That's insane. He's an easy lock for 3. You're telling me Juan Soto isn't better than Byron Buxton? That's 4. Okay.
When healthy, Dylan.
Who cares? When healthy.
Yes, when healthy.
I don't care.
Okay. I agree with you that he will. I think at the end of the day, he will end up in the same category as Grady Sizemore. He'll be one of those guys where we look back and we're like, wow, he had the potential, but the injuries got in his way. And another comp I got for you with Byron Buxton, Eric Davis. All right, obviously I didn't grow up in that area. My dad's a huge Reds fan, and so what I've learned from him is that, Eric Davis, he had the 5 tools, but he just couldn't stay healthy. He couldn't reach his full maximum ability to play baseball at the best level he could. A lot like Byron Buxton, they share some of the same characteristics, like the speed, the power, the contact. I'm sorry, not contact, but the fielding. They share those same things. And I got some more for you here on Byron Buxton, okay? Byron Buxton has increased his OPS every single season compared to the year before, all right? The last time Byron Buxton even played 100 games, obviously, was in 2017. So we know he struggles with staying healthy. But I got this for you. For center fielders through the age 28 per 600 plate appearances, Byron Buxton is top 20 in WAR in MLB history with 5. The only other current players on that list are 2 other players. And guess who those players are? Mike Trout and Andrew McCutchen.
Okay. That's nice. That's cute. It's the only time that he's played over 100 games in his career. All right, you're looking at a guy who 2019 87 hit 262. Hell of a year. Then he got 39 games 2020. That was shortened season, right? Then he was hurt last year. He's got 30 games in this year. Okay, maybe this is the year he does it. But you're telling me you had a guy at 202 right now. I don't think he does it. You think that this guy's going to turn it on this year?
No. That's if he gets back to being fully healthy. Okay. We give him 2 weeks of at bats. I believe he can get back in a groove of things. 2 weeks of at
bats. This is unbelievable. I mean, you're telling me this. I put Jose Ramirez above him. Yes. There are so many guys that I would put above Byron Buxton. You're telling me he's
healthy?
Top. Who cares when healthy? I haven't seen it. When
that's
healthy,
my full argument.
I haven't seen it.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying.
Byron
we haven't seen it.
When healthy, the guy's a 240 hitter. When healthy, the guy is a 240 hitter.
He did that 5 years ago. He did that 5 years ago. I'm talking about currently. We have been able to see what he has done when he's healthy. Recently, we've been able to see it. Yes,
we got one
beginning of this year, and last year before he got
May, but he's already hit the list. Okay, I don't want to hear that.
Listen,
shit.
I'm not arguing that he is a crippling old man. I'm not arguing that at all. Okay, my argument is that when he's healthy, I believe he is top 5. He's top 5 in MLB. The talent, everything's there when he's healthy.
That is just a freaking stretch. The guy's a bigger bust than Billy Bean. I mean, it's ridiculous at this point.
Not Billy Bean.
I mean, honest to God, you want a bold take here? He's literally Joey Gallo if Gallo had speed.
Really?
If you take the power away from Gallo and put that from the speed of Buxton, they're the same player. The average isn't there. They're great defenders. They have great throwing arms. It's just that Gallo has the power and Buxton has the speed.
Okay, I would say Buxton's a better defender.
Yeah, I would too. Center fielder, he can track balls down. He's faster. But once again, if Gallo had that speed, he could probably do the same thing too.
I think Buxton's bat is a little bit more consistent too.
Okay. I just don't buy that top 5 shit. I don't.
Oh, man. Well,
I'll tell you a player who is.
Well, who is that player? That's
It's
top
Rafi
five?
Devers. No, Rafi Devers is
Oh,
not
okay.
top.
I was about to
He's
say.
I tell you, that guy is massively underrated. Rafael Devers. I mean, are
Let's
you
talk
kidding
about
me?
him. Let's talk
Yeah.
about Rafi Devers.
Rafael Devers. All right. I'm going to pull this up just
All right.
because I want you to hear just how legit I believe this guy is. You're talking RBIs. Okay. This guy just hits, he drives in runs. He's a run producer ever since he's gotten to the league. Okay. He gets 58 games in his rookie year. He drives in 30 runs. It hits 284, 10 bombs. Following year backs that up. It's his second year in the big, 66 RBIs. Okay. That's all right. Then he turns it on. 2019, 32 homers, 115 driven in. Guy's the best hitter in baseball with runners in scoring position, 115. All right. COVID year, okay, only 2 months of baseball. 2020, 43 runs driven in. Okay, that's a pretty damn good year. You put that together into a stretch, he's well over 100. Last year, 113 driven in. This year, 25 through 2 months of baseball. I mean, this guy's just an RBI machine. You could talk about his glove, but they did get Alex Cora back last year as their manager. He's helped him a little bit more defensively. This guy's made an all-star game. He's won a Silver Slugger. And I tell you, this guy is one of the most underrated players in baseball. And he's hitting 333 this year with 10 bombs, 25 driven in. I mean, it's ridiculous. He's only 25 years old. It seems like he gets forgotten in the mix there in Boston. I mean, it's a big market for him to play in, and I don't think he gets the respect that he deserves.
I agree with you. Even though I am a Yankees fan, I do respect the talented players in baseball today. And Rafi Devers, I believe he is underrated. Just like you said, once the Red Sox gets guys in scoring position and Rafi Devers comes up, you might as well start rowing those ducks around third base and bring him in on home because he is the real deal. And, obviously his only deficiency is probably his glove, defensive. Sometimes he can become a defensive liability, but that is okay because that bat makes up for it. The man is legit. He is probably one of the few guys that whenever the Yankees play, he's one of the few guys that I'm genuinely scared of because I know he can rip my heart out, crush it, throw it on the ground, and then stump on it. Rafi Devers has that capability, especially to me as a Yankees fan. And to a little bit of what you were saying, I do think he gets a little, not as much respect. I believe it's because he is in the AL East where we got the other big dogs like Stanton, Aaron Judge, the guys in Toronto, Vladimir Guerrero, Bo Bichette, all those guys. I think he gets lost in the sauce there up in the AL East. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean that's my main talking point here. And the guy's underrated. I mean, not just there. You look across baseball. Everyone's talking Jose Ramirez. That's nice, right?
Mm-hmm.
He is a switch hitter. He's someone that can also put up big numbers. But I just feel Rafi Devers at the age of 25. I mean, this is one of the best hitters in baseball. Sure, he's made an all-star game and stuff like
He's only
that.
25?
Only 25 years old.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, he's super young. I mean, he's a young, talented ball player. And that's why I compared him to Juan Soto the other day. Now, Soto has the average, right? Soto can spray it. I mean, I've heard scouts say that they went to see Juan Soto swing a bat, and they say it just sounds different. And he can spray it everywhere. He crushes lefties. He can do it all. But Rafi Devers, at that age, the left-handed stroke in Boston, I mean, he's the real deal.
Yeah, I agree with that. I really like Devers, even though I don't like the Red Sox. You got to respect that. And speaking of him killing the Yankees, he thrives in Yankee Stadium.
Everybody does.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody does. That just leads me to our next topic here. The Yankee Stadium slander. I believe this is one of the stupidest arguments in all of sports. Yankee Stadium gets the most crap out of any other stadium in sports. And it's unnecessary, and it's flat out ridiculous. I don't think people understand. Dylan, do you know both teams play in the same stadium? Do you realize that, right?
What do you mean both teams?
Both teams are hitting. And at Yankee Stadium, there's a home team and an away team.
Yeah.
The Yankees aren't the only team that's hitting that stadium.
Yeah, but they hit there 81 times a year.
So, okay, whoever we're playing's hitting there. And here's another thing. Here's another thing, okay? If it's such an advantage for the hitters, wouldn't that mean it's also a disadvantage for the pitchers?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But, I mean, you look at the way it's set up. I mean, you could literally just flip a ball. Just flip it out. Me and you could hit them out there. I didn't hit a home run in high school. I could hit one to right field. I mean,
Okay.
it's easy.
Okay, but is it not 310 down the line in Fenway?
314.
Left field? 314? That's
It's
same.
310.
310? Yeah, 310 down the line at Fenway Park.
Yeah, but they got a freaking wall the size of.
It's still 310. Even in Houston, they got the Crawford boxes. It's 315. All you got to do is flip your wrist and it's going over.
Yeah, but once again, it's a higher wall. That's the thing stop. Get where you're coming from. That's the thing about Yankee Stadium. The wall's shorter. I mean, the wall is short, so it's tough to hit it out. You're looking at dimensions at these other ballparks, but they have walls, and the Crawford boxes are small. Albeit, yes. I'll take a look. Freaking Houston, I'll say that's a shitty park because it's one of those boom boxes you could hit it out of, similar to Yankee Stadium. Yeah. But other than that, I mean, I don't get the Boston Red Sox slander either about the left field. They got a monster at 310.
Oh, okay. You don't get it? You don't get it? Okay.
Yeah.
How about this? All right. If you go to StatCast Park Factor, which basically shows all the offensive statistics for a home stadium, okay? Guess who's number 3 on that list?
Who?
It's the Boston Red Sox.
Okay, but I'll give you this argument.
I'm not done, all right? They have 19% more home runs, 12% more hits, 33% more doubles than any other home stadium. Guess where Yankee Stadium is at on that list? They're 13th. They're 13th.
Just out of curiosity, does this have to do with just the home team stats when it comes to hitting? Because I'm pretty sure the Yankees still can't hit. They're grounded into double play, so that would check out with their little ballpark memorandums there.
Hey, it is, I believe. Let me see.
But I want to talk about Fenway for a quick second.
Yeah, let's talk about Fenway.
I mean, Fenway, you talk about 310, right, to left. Their ballpark is so strange. And I'll say this.
It's very strange.
You look at Yankee Stadium, right? It's built like it's a normal stadium, right? It's
like an oval, circle-ish.
Yeah, circle-ish oval. You look at Fenway, my gosh, it's 302 down that pesky pole, right? But you got to freaking hook that thing.
It honestly looks like somebody took a cookie cutter and then just took the cookie cutter out, then you get Fenway Park.
You do. I mean, it's strange because you go down that line, 302. That's the easiest spot to hit a home run. Once again, it's not a level little small ballpark like Yankee Stadium.
Is it 302?
It's 302 at that pesky pole. But once again, you got to hook that thing all the way around. It goes to 380 to where it's still 320 something at Yankee Stadium. And it works its way around 420 to right center, 390 to dead center because it cockeyes from the green monster cockeyes to 379 as it makes that wall that goes to 390, which cooks back into that right corner at 420, which goes to 380 as it loops its way around to that pesky pole at 302. That's a tough ballpark to hit in because it's so weird in how it's conformed. Yankee Stadium is a nice tight park, and that's where you get those home runs.
Like I said, the hitters have that advantage of the short porch, okay? But the pitchers are pitching to such a disadvantage. Like you said, don't the hitters hit their 81 games a year? Yeah, the pitchers pitch their 81 games a year, okay? And I think every MLB stadium is different. They have their perks, they have their pros, they have their cons, okay? That's what makes baseball so special, first off. But I think the Yankee Stadium slander, it's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. There's no logic behind it. Fenway Park is a better hitting statistically ballpark than it is Yankee Stadium. Okay, Park Factor shows that.
Okay, but I'm telling you, you guys, it's the eye test for me. Say what you want about all these statistics and stuff. It's the eye test for me. I see
numbers
a small
never
ballpark.
lie. Numbers never lie.
Okay, let me say this: you're playing at Yankee Stadium on MLB The Show. Are you excited when you pull up the game? If you can hit. If you're matching up with someone online, you're like, great, we're playing at Yankee Stadium, let's go. Or you're like, man, we got to play at Fenway. Most of the time, you're like, we're at Yankee Stadium, let's go. Coors Field, let's go, we're going to hit today. Mm-hmm. You're not feeling that way as much at Fenway.
I think I am. Just got to get it over that wall in the left field, then I'm good. That's how I would be feeling.
As much as you pop up, you might get it over that wall.
Oh, man. That is funny. You're a funny guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
These ballparks are strange, man. I mean, Oakland A's have that big ass foul territory.
I would hate that. If I'm a pitcher, I love that. But if I'm a hitter, batter in that ballpark, I would despise going there for sure. For sure. I think they're actually, I believe they're actually last in park factor.
Probably, man. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
football.
they
Season.
are. They are.
If you're a catcher, dude, you're shitting your pants every single time they're throwing a
Yeah.
ball in the dirt.
They're actually 23% lower than the average for home runs.
Yeah.
They're below average in all hitting statistics, average-wise.
Well, you have to factor in the team, too. They can't hit shit. They couldn't hit water.
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true.
A division can't hit water.
Last topic of the day. This will be more of a, not just a personal opinion, but something that we've recognized, all baseball fans have recognized over the years. But the lost art of baseball, which includes stealing. What happened to stealing? Bunting. Nobody bunts anymore. And starting pitchers going deep into games. What is your assessment on the little things like that we grew up on watching baseball that is no longer a thing and has phased out of the game?
I tell you what, I'll fit a player that doesn't fit the modern game. I'll name a player that just doesn't fit in today's game. And it's sad because I think this player, if he played in the early 2000s, he'd be a good ball player. This is someone who can play. He doesn't play the best defense. He's an average defender, doesn't have fantastic speed, has zero power whatsoever.
Does he play today?
He plays today.
Oh, okay.
You can guess this. I'm sure you're clipping it for TikTok right now. I mean, who is this player I'm talking about, right? He can get base hits, but he doesn't fit today's game.
Is it Mr. Whit Merrifield?
It's not. It's Nick Madrigal.
Nick
Madrigal does not fit today's game.
Short guy.
Yeah, he's a 300-ish hitter, right? Right now he's on the shelf, whatever it is. He's an average to below average defender. He's not going to hit the ball out of the ballpark. He's not going to get extra base hits. He doesn't have tons of speed. No. He's a 300 hitter, which is an empty 300 when the season's over. He doesn't really fit today's game, which is, maybe a David Eckstein. That guy had better defense. He had better speed, of course. But, he's a 300 hitter, and that's it for him. Yeah. Just doesn't fit today.
Yeah, I think I remember when he was getting drafted, a lot of people compared him to Jose Altuve because, they had the short stature. And I was like, hold on, wait a minute. What are we doing here? And just from watching his big league career so far, the guy hits for no power. And what does Altuve do? He can hit for some pop. He can hit for some doubles. The Crawford boxes definitely help. But I agree with you. He's definitely in today's game gets kind of ostracized just because he doesn't fit everything. And just some other things like stealing. I think Ricky Henderson's record, I don't think that's going to be I think that might be one of the most untouchable record in all of sports just because the game has changed so much. For example, Ty Cobb has 897 stolen bases. Is Billy Hamilton still active?
See?
Is he on a team?
He's not.
He's done? Well,
that's going to be my next point.
Well, he has 914 stolen bases. Ricky Henderson, 1,406 stolen bases. I don't think those are going to get touched. And basically, what I think happened was, the advance of technology. We have video now. And the number one crucial thing, analytics. Analytics, I believe that's pushed. I don't think anybody can really disagree with this. It's pushed stealing out of the game. Because I believe managers and front offices, they value outs so much, they just don't want to give away free outs. And they also don't want players getting hurt, stealing bases. So that's why I think why it doesn't happen anymore. I wish we were able to see stolen bases because it is exciting. It does create pace of play.
It does. And you're right. It doesn't. You're not going to get that record touched ever again. And what sucks is that nowadays you need to have that power. Everybody in your lineup needs to hit 15 plus home runs. Otherwise, they're basically a shitty player unless you're a catcher. But you look at the Billy Hamiltons of the world. Like that's one example. A couple other speedsters that can't stick around. I know Terrence Corey could never play the game. Gerard Dyson's a good example. There's a couple guys that can actually run the bases and can change your game, drop bunts down and do those little things. But it's the low average and the strikeouts and the non-ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark that scares teams away. And we're not going to see those guys get chances anymore unless you have those 5 tools or at least 2 of them of power and speed. you're not going to get a shot at any sort of stolen base records. And that's why we're not seeing any of these things touched. And it sucks because I'm a guy that likes to drop a bunt down. I'm a big Kenny Lofton guy. Drop a bunt down, get on base, steal. I mean, just those little things. It's those things that just need to happen in baseball. I mean, hopefully it comes back when they eliminate the shift. I think maybe you could see a little more small ball approach in that area, but it's crazy.
Yeah, all these MLB The Show references.
Yeah.
I like it. But we're going to get to bunting here in a second. But I remember watching Billy Hamilton, and he was so exciting to watch. Like, he was on SportsCenter Top 10 3 times a week by making crazy diving plays, getting the second on a bunt, or getting the second on an infield single. Like, he was electric, and I do miss that. But like I said, and everybody knows, analytics has totally pushed it out, including bunting. The reason why teams don't bunt anymore is because the bunting hurts expected runs. So, for example, if there's a run on first, if I bunt that guy over to second, that means there's 1 out. That guy on second has less run expectancy than he did on first with no outs.
That's such bullshit. That's such bullshit.
True.
I mean, I get where you're coming from, but all these numbers are driving me crazy as a purist.
I know. It drives everybody crazy.
Honestly, runner in scoring position, change your approach, right? 1 out, who cares? If you're sitting, because everyone's like, hit it out of here, hit it out of here. We'll rather ground into a double play than have our speedster steal second.
But that's how That's how front offices operate now. That's how the Brian Cashmans of the world. That's how these guys all operate. They get these Ivy League nerds in there, and they look at the numbers and they crunch the numbers, and this is what the statistics say. I mean, I know the baseball purists, they hate it. I understand it because there's so many different outcomes in the game of baseball. So obviously, analytics are important. I believe they are vital to the game. It just sucks that it comes to an expense of seeing exciting stuff like stealing, and very crucial moments of bunting. Because not gonna lie, I mean, obviously bunting at the the high school level, even the college level, that's different from doing it at the big league level. Because usually fielding in the high school level, it can be a circus sometimes. A lot of these guys they struggle with hit it on the ground,
make a play.
Yeah, make a play, but it's not like that in the pros. So obviously it sucks, and I wish it wasn't like that. But
yeah. Used to hit the top half of the ball, but no. You bring up that point, and I'll say this before we get into the pitchers. You drop bunts down. That's the name of the game, and it goes back to the 2-strike approaches are gone in the game of baseball. Everyone's up there just trying to swing the bat. Whatever happened to choke up? And I'm not some little league jackass sitting here. Choke up, Johnny, elbow up, like legit. Like if you're sitting here with 2 strikes on you, Anthony has a great 2-strike approach. There's a couple other guys in baseball that has them. Just foul off pitches. Just get in that. I do it on the show. Just foul off pitches.
Show reference.
And once again, just try to put the ball in play, and that's what you got to do with 2 strikes. And now everybody's slinging out of their ass. They're looking like ballerinas when they fall down, especially Baez. A couple of guys that just. I mean, he's a human air conditioner. But I mean, there's a couple guys that just swing and miss. It's ridiculous. Like. Change your approach. Put the ball on the ground. If a runner's at third, 1 out, that's a productive at-bat. Sack fly works too. If you can ground one to the shortstop with a runner on third, I'm a manager clapping my hands, giving him daps as he comes back to the dugout. Good job. You did your job. You drove in a run. And nowadays, if you strike out, next guy pops up, inning over. You're not getting that run home. So I'd argue against that run production and run expectancy and anything else you crunch into your computer and say, just play the game of baseball and go back to the roots.
Yeah, I wonder if we will ever see that again. Like you said, banning of the shift, if that will start putting these things back into play. But who knows? I don't think it will come anytime soon, especially with these analytical guys in the front offices. But who knows? But along with analytics have came the different ways we use starting pitchers, and it's totally different than what it was 10 years ago. And I believe in 2015, when the Kansas City Royals won the World Series, their starters weren't going super deep. Remember their bullpen? I believe they were probably one of the first few teams to have an insane bullpen where they said, all right, starters, Johnny Cueto, all you guys, give me 5-6 innings, bullpen will take care of the rest. Boom. And all the other teams follow suit.
Mm-hmm. I'd agree. I mean, that was one way you did it. I mean, you had your shutdown pen. You had Kelvin Herrera blowing smoke. You had a crafty Wade Davis with a nice cutter. And then you had Greg Holland, who had a little bit of both, had a wipeout slider, a great fastball. And I mean, a couple of those guys converted starting pitchers that really didn't have good careers. And they turned it into a great bullpen. And it really transpired from that. Then some of these nerds tried making starting some of these guys and making them throw an inning or two as openers, and then you bring in a bulk guy, which it just makes me sick to my stomach. But I mean, I love starting pitchers that can just go deep. Nowadays, it drives me nuts because the Cubs, when they were good, and from about 2015 to about 2019, I'd say, they had 5 guys in their rotation could go deep. John Lester, he's giving you 6 or 7. Kyle Hendricks, he's giving you 6. John Lackey was giving you 6. Arrieta's giving you 7+ because he was nails. Jason Hamill gave you 6. Like, these guys gave you innings. Now I'm sitting here as a Cubs fan like, geez, is Steele going to make it out of the 4th inning? Is Marcus Stroman going to walk the building before he gives up a shot and get pulled in the 4th? Like, it's so crazy how the game keeps changing. And I haven't seen it from my team. I've seen the Rays to go about it different ways and other teams like that. But it's just, it makes me sick because I see where they're coming from because, once again, you try to get outs and eliminate parts of the game and strategy against hitters and stuff. But that Blake Snell thing, going back to that freaking Kevin Cash decision, pulling Blake Snell
a few
after
years ago. Yeah.
I mean, that was just stupid. You got to trust your starter. I mean, they get paid to get people out, scouting reports, the stretching routine, and all that stuff that they got going into their start. They prep for days for that start.
Yeah.
I mean, let them pitch.
Yeah. Going back on that, and you know, I'm a more analytical guy. I like my numbers. And so I understand where these analytical guys, where their opinions, where they come from. And so, obviously, we know that the batting averages increase when a starting pitcher goes through an order for the 3rd time. We know that. That is proof. That's been proven. We know that. And I think that's why these front offices say, all right, let's let the starter pitcher go through twice, and now boom, let's bring in some guys the batting order hasn't seen, so it's not as easy for them to hit off of them. And so I think that's a big thing too. The analytical guys are definitely changing the game of baseball.
I want to say one more thing before we close here. It pissed me off because when you sit here and you go to like sporting events and games and stuff, you always remember, right? Oh, what was that game you went to? Oh, that was Jake Arrieta versus Jacob deGrom. Like, oh, that was amazing. I'm sitting here last year. I went to the NLCS, right? It was Braves Dodgers. I was going to Atlanta, live in South Carolina. I made the drive. And I was like, all right, going to go see Braves Dodgers. I was hoping it was Braves Giants, but once again, Dodgers moved on. But Braves Dodgers, I get there. I was like, let's go. Dodgers haven't announced their starter yet. I'm excited. Game 1 of the series. Who's it going to be? Max Fried versus Blake Trinan. I was like, what? Blake Trinan. Then they had their bulk guy, Julio Urias, I believe, came out of the pen. I can't remember who it was. Gonsolin, maybe. But it was the bulk. It was like, I'm going home and I'm sitting, oh, yeah, I saw Blake Trinan throw an inning. And I saw Max Fried shove. Like, it doesn't make sense how the game works that way. And then, of course, late in the game, they ended up blowing the game. It was an Austin Riley walk-off. I mean, just little things like that. I mean, it just – it didn't sit well with me. I wanted to see, like, oh, is this Scherzer versus Fried? Like, is this going to be legit? And it just go to a bullpen guy and then bring in a starter who had, 18 wins, a 3 ERA throughout the course of the year. You're bringing him in relief. Like, just makes me sick.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. Analytics have definitely changed the game. But I wonder if we'll ever get used to it. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, we got to adapt and change. You got to do that with every sport. I mean,
hey, what did Billy Beane say? Adapt or die.
Adapt or die. Billy Beane, yeah. Now he's dead. He's no longer in baseball. He's not dead. Don't come at us. He's not dead. But no, it's hard. You got to go with it, but you also have to keep some of those core values that go into winning baseball. And I mean, hey, whatever you have to do to win. Now, if you're doing it the Pirates way or the Reds way, I'd probably take notes on not to do it that way because you got to spend money to win. Smartly.
Maybe we can talk about that next week.
You can't be a Texas Rangers. Yeah,
Yeah.
we will. We don't have to talk Texas Rangers and spend it on John Gray and Marcus Semien after one good year in 50 years. I mean, you got to be smart with your money, but I mean, there's so many ways to go about it. And sometimes you need those analytics if you're a small market team. But if you're a big market team, pay the guys that win championships.
We can talk about that next week. That's a good tease for next week, Dylan. Appreciate that. Well, that was the first episode of the Rundown podcast. Once again, my name is Abe Hicks and my co-host Dylan Kearns. We love baseball. We want to bring some baseball content to you weekly. Follow us on our social media. We're on Twitter. We are on TikTok. We are on Instagram. We're also on YouTube, where this will be posted. And we'll also be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So we appreciate everybody listening, and have a good weekend, guys.